Hello, everybody. Today is July 21st. Today we're doing business and social news. But before we do that, we have some orange soda reviews for you.
2 sodas today.
Yeah.
Are we doubling down?
Well, I don't know which one I'm going to run out of first. This is Focus. I think I did this one before, the blood orange one.
Yeah, I think you did do this one.
This was in the fridge. A few of these have disappeared because we're in an office and the springtime, the birds are returning. No, I don't know. So
Focus with a PH.
yeah.
And it's got, notice that the logo on this, the O looks like a power button.
And this looks like a very craft version of
Yeah.
the old orange soda.
This is an orange cream soda. Oh, somebody's going to complain about the sound of the
Yeah,
bottle
we were
going
sliding
across
it.
the
We probably
desk.
shouldn't have slid that across.
So, cream soda is not in the running for best thirst quencher orange soda.
Really?
'Cause orange cream is not really. Is this 170 calories per bottle? Good lord.
I would expect more.
30 milligrams sodium, 45 grams of carbohydrates. 45.
All sugar, I bet.
It's all sugar, yeah. Contains filtered carbonated water, cane sugar, that's nice. Orange juice concentrate, natural artificial flavor, citric acid.
It's got orange juice in it. Wow.
Sodium benzoate, food starch modified, ester gum, yellow number 6, red number 40, and BHA to protect flavor. So I wonder if cane sugar is like real butter, because it's like, oh, you shouldn't have butter, and then it's like, well, butter is less bad for you than oils.
No, because see, here's the thing about it. Cane sugar is fine if you're eating the cane and getting all that fiber.
Oh, but it's refined.
Right.
Yeah, it's the refinement process that makes it not as good.
It's like cocaine.
Not at all. Chewing cocoa leaves, absolutely addictive.
It's such a nice orange and cream. It's got the smell. It's perfect. This is Hank's, by the way, in case I didn't say.
It's early to be calling it perfect.
Yeah, you've not even tasted
The
it.
odor is perfect.
The bouquet.
It is very lightly carbonated, strong cream, but then the vapor carries the orange flavor.
I don't like it when a soda's not heavily carbonated, because then it's just syrup water.
Except this is sugar water.
Yeah.
It is not as syrupy as the Balls soda,
Well, the cane sugar would certainly point to that.
but it is definitely at least 300% more syrupy than, say, Diet Orange Crush.
Makes sense.
Definitely very strong cream taste, and then you pick up the orange. It's almost like a 1-2 punch, because at first you don't taste the orange. The orange flavor is carried on the bouquet.
The cream is more of the jab, you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have like the wine tasting glass thing where you like swirl it around your mouth and spit it out again.
Spit in a bucket.
Yeah.
I don't want to get drunk. No.
All right, well, letter grade. You got to give it a letter grade.
For an orange cream soda, this is a solid A, maybe an A+.
Wow.
Wow.
But this was not something,
It's not a thirst quencher.
a hard day of getting the vines off my trees, not a thirst quencher.
No. Also not compatible with life on a daily basis.
No.
You got that English ivy?
Yeah.
That's wildly invasive. Do not plant that. They sell it at garden centers. Do not plant it.
Yeah, don't plant it. Somebody planted it about 50 years ago, and now 80% of my yard is that. And it's killing the trees that are wonderful old maple trees that I don't want to die, and they're just like, we're giving up on life.
Don't plant it.
So, we also got some merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's Rudog.
And I had no idea
Yeah,
This
I
was-
stole images of your cats.
this was in the world. I could have given you some better images.
Look at that.
Store.level1 text toasted
Text.com.
crouton.
We've got a bunch of new designs, but we also did pet designs.
There
'cause
are
it's
a bunch.
Wildly self-indulgent.
What else we got?
This one, so a patron a few months ago asked me to do a King of the Hill style design, and we put that on a t-shirt.
That's what you get when you give us $300.
I've
Yeah.
not seen that. Are we...
We're standing in front of the fence.
So, Wendell is Hank.
I don't know the
I'm
characters,
the...
so I
I'm-
just
Dale? Is that the... Dale, that guy's
I
name?
mimicked the art style, so I don't know any of the characters.
Who are you supposed to be?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know any of the characters. You make your decisions below and buy one at
Engagement challenge.
store.level1text.com. There's a ton. There's so many designs, but you can go check them out. We should be having mouse pads
we should
coming
power
out.
through them real quick.
I love this one.
I don't... What is it?
It's Wendell. It's Wendell, but with lights in his hands and in his eyes.
Oh, it looks like a horror thing.
Yeah, I love it.
That's after one too many orange sodas.
Or none. Not enough orange
I
sodas.
think you gave me this idea. It's just a simple. We do a lot of penguin designs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've got a bunch.
That'll get you kicked out of a PTA meeting.
This one can't. So I ordered these a long time ago, but it took a while for John to get them all in because, delays and everything. Flash died earlier this year. I made a t-shirt to commemorate it. But now it's like kind of old news, but if you're also excited about Flash being dead.
Can you imagine a member of the opposite sex approaching you and be like, what's that?
I dare you to wear the Adobe Flash shirt to the Adobe Cold Fusion meetings whenever those happen again.
Hoodies coming out for fall. It's got our beautiful little patch on it. I think
yeah.
we still sell the patches. I don't know that we'll order those again, but if we do,
it's embroidered.
It's embroidered, yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
All right, that's probably enough. The people that are here for the news
there's more stuff in the box, but I'm
we
not
got
going to
mugs and just check it out. It's fine.
Yeah, and mouse pads. Mouse pads should be here soon too, as well. And hopefully we'll reorder Teaching Sand to Think, which a lot of people have mentioned that we're sold out on.
6 minutes. We do from time to time. We get a comment from somebody that's being like, "I don't want all this garbage soda crap. I'm here for something else." But I think we get more comments who people are just like, at this point, I'm only here for the soda.
Yeah, so it's kind of a mixed bag. You can always skip over it.
Engagement challenge.
We do give you those handy little links in the description. You can skip any topic that you don't like.
Yes.
For example, if you don't want to get hyped about new hardware, you can skip right past this story. Even though I think a lot of people are going to be into this, although I think the pricing, maybe this is a chip shortage pricing situation.
Yeah, it's a little high.
It's a little steep.
Valve launches Steam Deck, a $400 PC gaming portable. Although you'll probably want one of the more expensive models to get a better SSD and a screen upgrade. It's 1280 by 720. It's got a lot of features. It's an APU. Early specs reported that this was an RDNA 2 APU, but I suspect that is probably incorrect, but maybe not. I don't know.
So it says $400. That's the very base model. The one that has any kind of storage is like $600.
Yeah.
Now you can SD card expand these, but if you're pulling game assets off of that, although I think this does the streaming thing, right?
Yeah. You stream from your gaming computer.
Can you install locally? Is that an option, or do you have to stream? I wasn't sure about that.
I wasn't sure either when I looked at the website.
It runs SteamOS, and it's a quad-core CPU, so the CPU does have some horsepower. I gotta think that they've got a plan for that.
Gabe has also said he expects to have all Steam Windows games running in this OS eventually.
Nice.
That'd be impressive.
He doesn't want anything left out.
The screenshot in this article is a picture of the guy playing, what is that, Factorio?
I think it is.
It might not be Factorio.
It might not be, I don't know. The map's in the wrong place.
I could be into playing like Prison Architect on that kind of device.
Or Factorio, or Monster Train, or SNKRX.
I don't know. I think that double inventory down there might be Factorio. Anyway, you can already play a bunch of these games on there. Anything you could play on their other thing that they had, the OS. But he's going to add more.
I think he would have sold more if this had come out in early 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not till December 2021 is when you can start ordering them.
Also, is mobile a strong platform right now if everybody's just at home?
Well, everybody was expecting the Nintendo Switch Pro, and Nintendo disappointed. Well, there it is.
Yeah. This is a competitor for the Switch, I think.
That's nothing like the Switch Pro. That's although I think they did maybe follow Nintendo's cue on the pricing, or maybe Apple's cue.
Yeah.
Because that storage adds an insane amount of money.
It really does.
To go for the big NVMe. But let's say that you don't have any kind of hardware. You've got just the most garbage hardware in the world, but you desperately, desperately need to do something. You got to get a job. Well, maybe Microsoft has a solution for you.
Microsoft puts PCs in the cloud with Windows 365. Windows 365 is a new service that creates cloud PCs. It's basically just terminal services and Azure Active Directory in the browser. This isn't really anything new. They're just marketing it differently. But I think Microsoft really, really missed the boat here because the Windows 11 hardware requirements were so insane. For anybody who can't run Windows 11 on modern hardware, they should just turn it into a thin client with this. It's like, oh, you've got a garbage Core 2 Duo from 2003? Well, you can't run Windows 11 on that, but you can run Windows 365.
So that'll run in a browser, or you can connect directly with RDP, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Better way to use it, maybe.
But you need a Windows 11 PC to have the proper RDP client because Microsoft didn't think that through.
Let me buy a much nicer car to drive to my crappy car.
Yeah.
Well, you think that the GPUs are coming back, but Miss Sue, Dr. Sue, disagrees.
She says that chip shortages will continue through 2021, but she does say that they're bringing on more capacity every quarter, and so the shortages will ease. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with GPUs, is like they're still not in stock, but they're coming in stock more often and for longer.
Although, if they're smart, and I think that she probably is smart, she is not adding back capacity as fast as she could.
Yes.
Because she's afraid of a coming cliff.
Yeah, because that has happened to AMD like 4 or 5 times. They really took a bath on APUs one year.
So, can understand them being hesitant, but also want chips. What do you do? Have you ever done Keymaster?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a lot of fun.
I've never seen Keymaster. I'm not interested in those kinds of games, I guess. But
I want a pair of headphones off one, but now I feel cheated.
This is kind of like the claw game. It's all about timing. You know, you're going to line up an X and a Y, right? Is that how it works? And it's these, arcade machines. And we've known for years that the claw doesn't grip all the way every time.
Right.
That seems to be common knowledge. But apparently some people not aware of it and angry.
Sega sued for rigged arcade machine. The Keymaster game has been a target for years. So in the manual, it says, hey, you literally can't win unless we've collected a certain amount of money. So there's no risk in it for you. And the marketing for the game says it's purely a game of chance and skill. I mean, purely a game of skill, not chance. And so their argument is, well, if it's a game of skill, okay, but if it's a game of chance, then you have to market it differently under the law.
Is this the one where it's like the Tower of Lights and you have to watch it go back and forth?
No, it's the one where there's like an arm and there's just little holes, and you have to line the thing up, and then the thing goes through the hole to push a button to give you the whatever.
Oh, okay.
And what they're saying is, even if you get it perfectly, if it's not one of the winning, like the pre-configured winning runs, it'll just move it slightly.
Yeah.
Before it.
My cousin got one of the light ones removed from a Walmart. He was working at Walmart, and he would play it on his break, and he got so good at it, he was getting prizes like every day.
Well, maybe that game is the one you want to play, not this one.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. He was pretty good at it. He won a lot.
Well, the thing about these Master Key games that they pointed out, the prizes are no longer, stuffed animals. They're putting like iPads and stuff in there.
Yeah, he got like headphones and stuff out of it.
My favorite one is the local Chinese buffet. They have a 40-ounce bag of Skittles in it. There is no chance that claw can lift a 40-ounce bag of Skittles.
There's no chance those Skittles probably even taste good anymore. They're probably like kind of stale.
I would love to see it rip into them and just dump them all inside. And then somebody plays it and gets one Skittle. Like the claw perfectly gets one Skittle.
Yes.
My family can eat this week.
They're cutting it up. Well, we got some new features coming from Apple into their iPad line. And I assume that Krista added this story because I didn't.
I added it, yeah. Well, because this threw me off. So I don't update my iPad probably as quickly as I should. And so this came out like maybe 2 weeks ago. And I updated it this week. And I was like, every time I would go to like search for something, it was doing something weird. I was like, what the hell is going on? It's trying to like let me write. You can actually write on your iPad and it will autofill like form fields now.
I just noticed this is June 22nd.
Yeah, it's like almost a month old now.
iPadOS 14 will turn your handwriting into typed text.
It's actually kind of cool, but also a little bit annoying because I didn't expect it.
Enjoy your timely news on the Level 1 news.
What would you say the success rate is with it in your tests?
Pretty good. It was actually really good. The only thing that it doesn't seem to understand how to do well is like mimicking the case that you're writing. So like at one point I was trying to write all caps and it was like, no, I don't understand that. I'm going to put it in normal case. So.
Well, Krista, one thing that I know about your iPad is that it is one of the garbage Intel iPads.
Yeah,
And you might as
it's
well,
older.
you need to just throw it away. I mean, obviously, you've had
Yeah.
it for what, 3-4 years at this point?
I know,
Not-
ancient.
Not Intel, but pre-M1.
It's getting long in the tooth. Oh, who made those chips?
Technically Apple. They're just older.
Well, x86.
No, it's not x86.
What is it?
It's ARM. It's just older ARM.
Oh, I didn't know they did ARM on those versions. But anyway, it's old, and you need a new one. And you might be saying, well, I can't quite afford a new one right now. And they're saying that is not an excuse.
Apple and Goldman Sachs plan a buy now, pay later service to rival Affirm. We've covered this before, but now it's like really ramping up because Goldman Sachs and Apple have this deal where Goldman Sachs knows what the margin is in those products, and so it's not really a financial risk for either one of them to sell you a vastly inflated price, of like an iPad or whatever, because it's like, oh, we're going to sell you a $1,000 iPad. Those companies are only like $200 on the hook, and they own your debt. It's like your soul.
And when you default, they'll take it back, refurb it, sell it, and make that money again.
This is just QVC with extra steps.
So, wouldn't recommend it. I don't know what the APR is, but I bet it's high.
Yeah, just save for a few months and then.
So they have paid off in 4 weeks option. Like a weekly debt seems so much more crushing than a monthly debt.
Yeah.
So much less time to get ahead of that. And then they have the traditional monthly payment one. Don't do either.
Just save for
Yeah.
a little bit.
Don't finance your technology. Go to a pawn shop and get something from there that's like $200.
Or just save your money
yeah.
until you can afford it. We all know about the new version of iOS blocking the old tracking IDs. It's been in the news a lot. Now it's been going on for what, like 3-4 weeks now, maybe a month.
Yeah.
And we have more information about how it's actually changing the world.
There's about 3 or 4 versions of this story this week. Apple's app tracking transparency framework causes advertisers to spend more money targeting Android users. That's a lot of words to say advertisers aren't buying ads for iOS applications anymore because they're seeing a big dip in their analytics numbers and being able to sort of track an individual, and it's basically gone dark. Like they're buying the ads, but they're not seeing where the traffic goes, so they've cut ad spending on Apple's platform.
And how much has it dropped? Well, they're obviously not going to tell us. They're never going to release those numbers, but we have speculation.
Brian Bowman says that Apple's IDFA change has triggered 15 to 20% revenue drops for iOS developers.
It's non-trivial, although still less than the amount that Apple takes.
Yeah.
So, obviously, it did pretty much what everybody said it was going to do, just destroyed business models.
How cool would it have been if Apple had said, we're going to do this, we're projecting it's going to be a 15% drop in revenues, we're going to cut our cut from 30% to 15%.
That's assuming they have any kind of heart or soul or like care about anybody at all.
I'm just going by what the company's like. It's public messaging. It's like we value users and we value privacy and blah blah blah. But they're not willing to put their money where their mouth is.
Literally.
I would phrase that slightly differently, and that is they're not willing to alienate all of their shareholders. This has been a headline that in the past has belonged to exactly one company. We see them all the time, and I know. Internal combustion, it happens more often. No one's arguing that. But a lot of people were like, hey, that company's just really bad. Maybe not. Maybe they're not so bad. Maybe it's just a really hard problem to solve.
General Motors tells Chevy Bolt owners to park outside because the batteries could catch fire.
This could be in the nonsense section. Like, what a strange thing to have to tell people.
This
That's
isn't
kinda
the first
serious.
time that this has happened either. They're going to try to fix it, but yeah.
But this was after a warranty repair.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they were
Second time.
fixing something. Were they fixing the batteries, or was it something
I thought
else?
they were fixing the batteries because I thought that there was some other kind of issue like this they couldn't fix over the air, so they bring it in. But until then, park outside because it seems like we reported that. Maybe that wasn't on the Bolt.
No, they didn't know about the parking outside until a couple of them burst into flame. So they thought they had solved it.
Whoops.
They had not.
How long before it's you got to have some sort of insane fire suppression system in your garage if it's an attached garage to your house?
Just you have a pool and you drive the car into the pool.
Water
And then you have to
cooler.
swim your way out.
And you have
every
an
day.
airlock that comes out like the space station and attaches to the door.
That would solve a lot of problems. It creates a lot more
I was
problems.
gonna say it'd be wildly expensive.
But then you get lazy about filling up the reservoir one day. We last week we learned about dream advertising. What a terrible, terrible world we are heading toward.
And VR advertising.
But that was not the beginning of the terrible headlines when it comes to brain interfacing. Facebook was at the forefront of that. But maybe this is some good news.
Facebook is ditching plans to make an interface that reads the brain. The company's research into a consumer mind-reading device is over for now. Some scientists say that it was never possible anyway.
I think they didn't do it for moral reasons. I think they probably failed, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're moving on to another device that straps to your wrist and predicts.
Remember the
Stuff.
thing where it's like it straps up here and down there and it can read your that thing.
So the you thinking about making those motions does something that they can pick up on, even if you got no hands. It's incredible. Not as incredible as mind reading though.
Yeah.
You've got to have the invasive brain probes. Need Elon Musk for that.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd get on board.
He has.
Yeah, he's doing that Neuralink or whatever.
With monkeys.
Oh yeah, right.
They're not unhappy.
I don't know. That
I
we
wouldn't
can prove
describe them
that.
as happy either.
Well, the space race, the 2021 space race, I guess, is officially over. We'll cover that story later. But there's still big things happening with rocketry and getting into space. There's a lot of big numbers moving around, and who can establish that space powerhouse first?
Amazon has acquired Facebook's satellite internet team because Facebook was going to be an ISP, and then people looked around at how that went in India, being a VPN provider with unlimited data, and now it's going to be Amazon, who's probably quietly going to do the same thing.
Remember the African thing they wanted to do?
Oh, yeah.
Africa was just like, I don't know if we trust you with that.
No thanks.
But then they turned around and went to China. So, But that'll be interesting. I wonder, do you think that Amazon would undercut Starlink because they can? They can certainly afford to lose money on that.
That'll be interesting. If they do lose money, then they'll probably raise it that is like an FTC complaint or something.
Or they'll give you a really nice discount on your monthly satellite internet if you're a Prime customer.
Yeah.
They got that wild card to play.
But if you're someone who lives kind of remotely, who needs satellite internet, would you be on like the delivery path anyway? Would Amazon care about you?
It might also be nice to have both and then have multi-path TCP so that, when one is weird and flaky, the other one's still working.
Well, they're a little pricey.
Yeah, to do both.
One thing about Starlink that Musk has pledged, I don't know if I trust that. I think that changes the moment it becomes a problem. But he said no caps.
Yeah.
You get what you get, which is different from literally every other ISP in the world.
Yeah. AT&T will let unlimited data customers pay more to avoid the slow lane. It's like, well, unlimited, we've got some varying definitions here. So unlimited means you get a big bucket at first to scoop up your data, and then once you've used so much, you get a very small bucket. And you can use as much unlimited data as you can possibly get in that bucket, but after you've carried a thimble-sized bucket to and from the data well all day, you're going to be real tired. You're not going to want to do
Wouldn't that mean that it's limited though?
I would say that's more of a teaspoon. Yeah, of course, that is the argument.
Yeah. Wouldn't that mean it's limited?
Is that not inherently a limit? Are we arguing the word limit here?
Yes, because American advertising is so screwed up.
Also, I said the world, and I realized that a lot of the rest of the world doesn't have data caps, so don't correct me on that.
Too late. Someone's already writing a comment.
I know.
They didn't even wait.
Probably didn't save anything there.
Oh, it was updated. I wonder what the update was.
We'll read the headline and we'll scroll down.
I think it's that he's giving up.
Oh.
So we talked yesterday about like saving videos and how obviously the politicians don't understand the whole idea of like downloading video and how that works. Well, this is another perfect example of that idea.
Reddit orders SaveVideo bot to shut down or face a lawsuit. /SaveVideo was a Reddit video downloader bot that helped users download and save videos from Reddit. But Reddit said stop doing that.
So really, it's just I don't know what they use. Maybe I guess they use YouTube DL and then just give you a download point for it. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but obviously the video is already there. It's available because you've watched it. You just want to save it to a file.
If you're in France, this should be completely okay, apparently, based on our earlier stuff from earlier in the week.
They point out that this user had been banned before and then came back after a couple of days and was like, oh, it was all a misunderstanding. I don't think it's a misunderstanding this time.
Yeah.
Now we talk about the crazy relationship between corporate and government. My God, is this an example
This
of
is
it?
strange. Yeah, I
And-
thought I misread this at first.
This seems like the less awful version compared to what we have in America.
And this just goes to show you how much power these chip fabricators have with the Chinese government. You know how Apple and Facebook and Google do whatever the Chinese government says? These guys have more pull.
Foxconn and TSMC strike a deal to buy 10 million vaccines for Taiwan for the thing. And this is because the Taiwanese government was in negotiations to buy from, was it a Shenzhen supplier? It was to buy the vaccines. But because, Taiwan and Shenzhen and the whole,
Them wanting to be a country,
Yeah.
being uppity.
the Chinese government said, no, that's not allowed. So TSMC and Foxconn were able to buy it in order to give to Taiwanese citizens, which is good, I guess.
If Taiwan is part of China, as China claims, wouldn't they want to give those vaccines to their citizens?
No, I think they want to kill all of those citizens and take the infrastructure for their citizens.
The article does say that China was like, hey, we'll, if you go through us, we'll arrange for your thing. But is that like the fruit of a poison tree?
Yeah.
Just fill out these informational cards for us, please. Be sure to put your DNA on
I can
there.
understand why they maybe wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, you can definitely understand that. Or just take a quick little boat trip over here to the mainland. We'll take care of you. We got these nice camps that we built for you. Well, this was probably 2017 when the big blockchain craze, everybody was calling themselves blockchain.
The wheels of justice barely turn.
And I remember this story because so many companies pulled this crap.
Yeah.
They just changed their name. And sometimes the investors would accidentally target the wrong company.
Yep.
And blow up a little penny stock. But that's not what happened here. These guys knew exactly what they were doing in hindsight.
Insider trading charges filed over Long Island Iced Tea's blockchain pivot. So there was some internal communications, which was basically, I don't understand why all these companies are doing so well. They've just added blockchain to their name, and that's all they're doing. And then internally they said, hey, why don't we do that? And they did that. And then their stock shot up 1,000%, and they made some insider trades. And that's what got them in trouble.
Well, they didn't just do that. They kind of went to some trouble to try to hide the communications. Where they're like, hey, by the way, we're doing this on Monday. And they pointed out this one guy bought 35,000 shares, made $160,000 in a day. Which is not a bad. He felt pretty good about that for about 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah.
Now he's not feeling so good. I assume. I don't know. Maybe. The, what do we call it? The Great Reset, right? The Great Reset is where the government takes over everything in our lives. And we don't have to worry about anything. And we're finally happy because all these terrible decisions have been lifted from our poor shoulders. And it seems like Gizmodo, by the headline, is getting into it. But they do sort of rescue themselves in the article.
In 2030, you won't own any gadgets.
What a great stock photo, by the way. Whoever did the artwork for this, great job.
You can't have a fridge. You can't have a dishwasher. You can't have a stove. Your subscription has expired. As somebody who, not super long time ago bought an LG refrigerator, they're real aggressive wanting to sell you a water filter subscription. Real aggressive.
A water filter subscription?
Yeah, because it's got a chip in it and it expires whether you use it or not. And they're like, you should just go ahead and buy 5 or 6 of these a year and you can subscribe on this plan and it'll cost half what you'll pay in the store or on Amazon if you just get the water filters from us.
My air fryer beeps angrily, randomly at me. And I'm always like, why are you beeping at me? I stopped using you 30 minutes ago. And I finally, after some Googling, figured out it's complaining because it can't get to the Wi-Fi.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fridge also wants me to download an app it beeps every so often, and it's like, I have important things to tell you. And in the manual, it's like, oh, you should download the app to connect to the fridge to see what it's trying to tell you. And it's like, I didn't buy the smart fridge to just get an app. This is not happening.
We purposely bought all dumb appliances, like industrial dumb appliances, so that way we wouldn't have to deal with that.
So you're saying it has the screen?
No, it doesn't have the screen.
Oh, okay.
I think it's trying to tell me that there's something up with the water filter, because I got the Chinese clone water filter that doesn't expire, and which is a wrapper for like the cheap water filters, and I think it's trying to tell me that it knows that the it's trying to warn me that the water filter might be communist or something.
Your water's got like
It's posting extremist content.
A little bit of a red tint. I don't know what this is.
Well, it tastes delicious.
Well, you guys, I know one thing I know about you two. You were locked to your screens watching this soccer championship.
Yes, I love the sport. I did know it was Italy. Italy won.
You know what I've learned about soccer that I did not previously understand is that it's not just like one big competition, right? There's leagues.
Yeah.
So we've only settled the Euro championship, right?
Probably.
But now we still got
Engagement challenge?
We got the World Cup, which is different, I think.
That's pretty much just a fight between like South America and Europe, right? Like those are probably the teams that invest the most in their teams.
Well, I don't think South America's in the Euro Cup.
No, I said the World Cup. You said you were talking about the World Cup.
Yeah, well, but that's different. So this was not as big as I thought it was, but I guess I really don't understand. I know that it was a big cultural event. And when the UK lost, it was a real heartbreaker. And as you know, UK has some passionate sports fans. They might take things a little too far.
UK to ban online racists from games after the 2020 uproar. So they're not banning racist people from online. They're banning people that post racist things on social media about players. There were some players that missed some goals, and some people posted some really offensive stuff. So I guess the UK wants to track that and put you on a list to be like, no, you had a terrible attitude. You're not allowed to come watch the match.
I think the guy that missed the the saving goal for UK was a person of color.
Aww.
Yeah. And he got a lot of abuse after that.
Poor guy.
They love to get involved with their sports over there.
I think that's true in the U.S. as well.
No, but they do it to the point of like, forming gangs and fighting and stabbing and stuff like that.
I think that's still a thing here. People burn couches and crap
No,
for
that's true.
college basketball.
Certainly Philadelphia probably give
Yeah.
them a run for their money. Maybe Detroit. But, you said you're not going to ban them from online. I guarantee once they identify them, all the social services will drop them.
Twitter has blocked you for being an awful person. What?
That's definitely coming. And over at Facebook, they probably already know who all those people are.
Yep.
Because boy, do they have a lot of data. But here's the problem, and this is a big problem for them. A lot of those people who are the biggest problem online are the biggest consumers of Facebook.
Inside Facebook's data wars, the New York Times reports that executives at the social network have clashed over CrowdTangle, a Facebook-owned data tool that revealed users' high engagement levels with right-wing media sources. It's like the meme, are we the baddies?
It's like, well, this can't be true. It seems like they're interested in the thing that we don't want. What are we going to do about this? So there's two camps. There's the camp that says we keep making bundles of money, and the camp says, no, it's all about the narrative.
There's the truth. Yeah, it basically is that. There's probably room to have a happy medium, but there's also, like your grandma posting really just horribly offensive things gets a lot of traffic. And that's the kind of thing that shows up in this report.
Well, everybody knows that grandma has the best racist posts.
Yeah, I mean...
She's known worldwide for
it. There's not, the thing that leaves out is there's not sentiment analysis. Is everybody looking at that to be like, oh, grandma's from a different time? Or are people looking at it and saying, yeah, maybe we should bring back some of the things. Grandma's time was better. And it's like, one of those things is dangerous. The other one, not so much.
I think we disagree on which one is dangerous.
some of the. I'm thinking of like the like the lawn cross burnings and things like that. I think we would agree
Yeah, I
that
think
that's
we can
probably not a
move
good
past
idea.
that. Let's not go back to that time.
Are we doing that?
Yeah,
That's on Facebook.
those get a lot of posts, a lot of things on Facebook where it's just like, yeah, that's things were better then, and it's like, were they?
In some ways. In others, definitely not.
Yeah.
Did you ever fleet?
No, never did.
Not even once?
Not even once.
Wow. You've missed your
Missed your
opportunity.
chance to fleet.
I think it's because they wanted you to use the app, and I usually will not use the app.
Oh, you can't web fleet?
Usually
don't know.
not. Did you install it for a while?
Interesting. Well, it's too late.
Yep. Twitter is shutting down fleets. That's expiring tweets feature. It said, I love
You
the
didn't read, the sub headline.
Eat the fleets.
Uh-huh.
But something else is coming, though, they said.
Are we at the point where yeet is no longer cool?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so. Now it's sheesh.
I can't get into that.
That's from TikTok, and that means that something's cool. Like sheesh, that's cool.
That reminds me of the Budweiser commercial, the What's Up commercial. What's up?
Yeah, it is kind of that same sort of thing.
But that became old like the next day.
Yes.
I feel like sheesh is getting there, and it'll be a new meme soon for TikTok.
I liked yeet.
Is that guy's desk set up on a staircase? Because that's what it looks like.
No, I think it's
He
just
lives
another
in an
desk
Escher
behind
painting.
him. It's because the wall, see the cuts in the wall are distorting your perception of it.
Oh, okay.
This is something that I got to tell you, I'm starting to think about this.
Oh, yeah. No, we were already there.
We were entering into this dangerous demographic, especially in this business. There's a bit of a timer. Not quite as bad as like, young MTV hosts. Does MTV still have hosts?
I would say just modeling in general,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Oh, yeah, Instagram
influencer,
influencer. Yeah, that one's got a hell of a fuse on it.
Timer, yeah.
I would say that there, like some of the things that I've experienced is not the younger thing; it's the wisdom thing. I'll explain that in a second.
But I think the big problem here isn't how well you do your job; it's how much money you'll take to do your job.
Yeah. Older job seekers on LinkedIn get fewer job offers, but a younger profile photo helps. So there's some things that happen as you get older. One of those things is you've seen some stuff. And, when somebody comes to you and is like, I have this amazing idea. We're going to build Facebook, but it's only going to be for Olympic skiers. Only Olympic skiers are invited. And when you're young, it's like, hey, you got money, whatever, I don't care. But when you're older, it's like, let me tell you a bunch of reasons why that won't work, and it's a waste of my time.
You think we can get away with this?
Also, older people ask for more money. So
It's PG-13, right?
Let's not.
tempt the algorithm.
Yeah.
I guess the headline by itself is,
Pretty graphic.
well, let's just say, go over to Instagram and look up Metaphysical Megan if you'd like to see what we're looking at here. And, it does look refreshing, I guess. But in terms of dangerous social media trends, this one's kind of low.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
This doesn't seem unsafe at all.
Somewhat harmless.
Yeah. Health trend butthole sunning gaining followers on Instagram. Yeah, the kooky practice of sunning down there is gaining traction with yet another wellness Instagrammer gaining notoriety after posts touting its health benefits.
What are the health benefits according to this influencer?
Well,
you
obviously,
don't have to have a cup of coffee in the morning to wake up. You just do that, and then you've got energy all day long.
I don't think that's true.
obviously, vitamin D, right? Because especially with the pandemic.
There's a lot of good pictures in this article, so if you want, check it out in the one tab. But
Is it? Can we do a controlled experiment where maybe it's just you?
I feel like this is a good way to get skin cancer. You got to slather yourself in sunscreen like you're Mark Zuckerberg every day.
That's a tougher spot to slather. So, yeah, but what they're saying is obviously vitamin D is good. We need more vitamin D because that protects against the thing, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying, oh, get out and get your 20 minutes. But these people are saying, no, and they point out, let me see if I can find the quote real quick. It has to do with energy entering and leaving the body through that area.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either.
Well, they claim that it is, and I don't think that you've ever tested it. 30 seconds of sunlight on your butthole. You will receive more energy.
Good reporting.
From this electric node, than you would an entire day of being outside with your clothes on. Yeah, I don't think that's true. Oh, here it is. In Taoism, the perineum, which is the taint, or Huiyin, is called the gate of life and death. This is a gateway where energy enters and exits the body. Mostly just an exit for me.
Yeah, I don't think so, dude. I feel like this is a 4chan green text gone wrong. Like someone was on a board on 4chan and was like, you know what we should get people to do?
I think a lot of it actually is pretty girls looking for a good excuse to post nudes.
Yeah.
Without seeming like they're just posting nudes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes though in those articles. I mean, there's girls too, but
Well, listen, there's an audience for that, Krista.
it's strange. That should have been a nonsense.
What do we got for Friday?
We have one design story Friday.
Robot design nonsense.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you Friday.
Man, you haven't even broken into the focus yet. I feel like you have not gone hard on the.
It's rich. It's very rich.
Just like this week's news.
More of a sipper then. You know what? You didn't give us the activity or location where this should be properly consumed.
This is best consumed just after sunset on your front porch on a cool autumn evening with a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Ooh.
Oh, so now are you eating the ice cream independently and just sipping on that, or are you doing like a float type of deal?
Either one could work. It just depends on the mood that you're in. I think today my mood would be to sip it independently. But
Depends on how late into the autumn that you are.
yeah.
I can't wait for fall. It's too hot.
If it's a hotter day, I definitely would go for the float.
Well, there you go, chat. Perfect way to enjoy it alongside Wendell.